The #1 most important rule.
So how much is it going to cost? You have to do your research. There's actually websites that you can check. When women do invest, they tend to outperform men.
Kendra Todd was a highly successful marketing entrepreneur and real estate broker.
Buy low, sell high.
It's not unmanageable.
You took a rather large design risk.
They're willing to listen and they're willing to negotiate.
Today, Kendra wears many hats, including the host of HGTV's My House is Worth What?
We don't want to know how much we owe.
We don't think things are going to happen to us, and then they do.
And that's a really high statistic.
You really need to have an emergency account. Americans need to be on a debt diet.
Kendra is an expert on how to maximize your home's value and how to achieve financial freedom by taking risks in real estate and in life.
I'm about to meet Kathy, a 27-year-old single and fashionably broke New Yorker who's in desperate need of a financial makeover.
You do realize that you run into a challenge when you have a property that is so unique that there's nothing comparable on the market.
People need to realize that banks are there to do more than just collect your mortgage payments every month. Especially right now, they're willing to listen and they're willing to negotiate, and you don't have to go into foreclosure.
You want to buy at or near rock bottom. You can't time it perfectly, and if you try to, you might miss it. But in any market, you want to buy low, sell high. What they've done right is they started looking at their home as an investment, and that's a big money mistake. People forget or they don't realize that your home is sometimes your largest investment. Drive the hood during rush hour, at morning, and at night. You want to see what the neighbor's doing when they're at home, not at work. So how much is it going to cost?
It'd be about $34,000.
It seems like a lot of money, but not for what they're hoping to get out of this.
And we don't want to know how much we owe. We don't want to look at those receipts, so we either don't save them at all or we just push them aside.
1/3 of all women make as much as or more than their spouses.
Okay.
Nearly 1/4 of all home purchases in America are made by single women. And when women do invest, they tend to outperform men.
This legislation is a last-ditch effort at containment. And yes, it will definitely buffer the blow for some homeowners.
Just because a property is being foreclosed upon doesn't make it a great deal. You have to do your research. You need to know what the property's worth. You need to set that limit for how much you're willing to pay or walk away.
It's not unmanageable. The average amount of credit card debt that a person in the United States has is $35,000.
But you're still spending money. You're not spending as much. You are getting better deals. So that is being thrifty. But you're spending instead of saving. You don't think things are going to happen to us, and then they do. So you have to prepare for what I call the D list, and that's divorce, disaster, disability, and death. It's amazing what you can find on the internet. You can go online. There's actually websites that you can check, like forums for apartment ratings and for nasty neighbors. People will post info.
The #1 most important rule is pay yourself first. Before you pay your bills, before you pay your debt, before you pay your rent and your mortgage, you always set some aside for savings.
And it encourages Wall Street investors to go in there and make more risky loans, secure in the knowledge that the government's going to bail them out. What happens if we come back with a number that's lower than 700,000?
We're going to be here for a while then.
And if we come back with a number that's higher?
We're still going to be here for a while.
You'll just be a lot happier.
New York has some of the best restaurants in the world. I'm going to guess you eat out a lot. So you're spending probably about $150 a week on dining out. Gotta have my coffee. I understand that, but $3 a pop? Okay. Do you have any idea, $6 a day, how much you're spending on coffee a year? $1,560.
My biggest concern, though, is the fact that when they bought this place, it was at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac. And then they started building the apartment community down the road. I'm afraid they're going to take a really big hit in value there because of the changed zoning.
Love that. So not only are you making a charitable contribution, but you can get some materials at cost.
Wow. Well, and the big thing for me is that you took a rather large design risk, and it paid off, because a lot of times it doesn't. So you have an awesome home, and all you do is stick out for a little while, and you're going to get every penny and then some out of this house.
When we're in the driver's seat, we tend to cross the finish line first. So why do we take a back seat to our finances?
All right, well, there you go.
It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You know, there's no perfect fit to be a successful business person.
And for that reason, I'm saying, Kendra, you're hired.